Hello. So, a couple of people have asked me, what does it even mean to go inwards? Because it's a term I use a lot and probably make quite a lot of assumptions thinking about it. So, I think firstly, we need to establish the fact that when we look out into the world out there, it looks very much like it's all independent from us, it's separate from us, and it's a hard fact, it's truth, that's just how it is. But in truth, that's not the way it is because the way we perceive everything is completely down to our subjective conditioning, often formed in childhood, and all the beliefs that we carry that are invisible. And that completely informs the way we view people, events, everything that we experience. And it's really hard. We can't ever divorce ourselves from the way things are showing up because they're irrevocably connected. And we put a lot of energy into going out there, doing stuff out there in the world, thinking that it will affect us internally and create change within. And we've got it a little bit back to front, really, because actually true shifts happen when we go within, because the world out there is just a mirror of what's happening on internally. And going inwards can sometimes be portrayed, particularly on Instagram and other social channels, as quite sort of, I don't know, woo-woo, I suppose, or even very calm, serene. And the reality, certainly for me, is that that's not the way it is. There'll be moments of expansion, of course, there'll be depth, there'll be profound feelings within, but there'll also be lots of gritty things. There'll be some stuff that's not very pretty, because actually, what we do when we go inwards is we turn towards ourselves. We go deep into our experiences, not necessarily to analyze them from an intellectual point of view. We go below the intellect into experiential life in terms of what are the sensations in the body, how does it feel. So less about meaning making and more about just being with stuff. And even that, people will often say, well, what do you mean when you say being with stuff? Well, it's bringing curiosity, it's bringing openness and awareness. The part of us that notices but doesn't necessarily make judgments, just sits with stuff. And we're not used to that. In this society, we're used to being very busy, often so much so that we don't have chance to slow down and be with ourselves. So it's about creating opportunities. I call it like pockets of space within your day, even if they're just micro pockets, to just sit still, be with sensations in the body, not to particularly create a certain experience, because that's another misconception. Things like meditation aren't to create a particular experience, in my view. It's about simply the act of being with, of just noticing, of seeing what arises, what comes up, and then what dissipates. And it's only then that you start to become more attuned, more kind of discerning about what's happening within, to realize where there's constriction, where there are parts of you that you've pushed down that you just haven't looked at. We call that the shadow side. And it's never ending. It's like an unraveling. There isn't a destination. That's the mind that wants a destination. There's just being with what is. I'm going to be doing some more exploratory sort of free chats about this because it's quite a big topic. And that is via the Heart Space, which is a closed Facebook group that I set up a few months ago, which you can access via my Natalie Nuttall Innate Wellbeing page, which is the coaching page on Facebook, if you're interested in being part of something like that. So yes, I hope that makes a little bit more sense for you. Take good care.